Hello and welcome to the Build With Baer Workshop. My name is Pat Baer. I'm here to build a model kit and the Lego set and to hang out with all of you. I'm throwing the Barricade Lego, the site, the moat in the chat. This is currently the the kind of like the intro to the show. And we're waiting for a few more folks to join us. Honestly, there are not a lot of people here right now, and that's okay. But if you're here, you can throw the Barricade, the Lego, the site, the moat in the chat. We got Heather saying hi. Hello, Heather. We got Jam throwing out the emotes. Welcome, welcome. As always, folks, you don't have to be a subscriber to use, if you're a subscriber, you use my emotes. If you're not a subscriber, that's okay. Use someone else's emotes. Use the universal ones. Use your own. Aristophan's here. Hi, Aristophan. Tonight we will finish up the Enterprise NX-01, which I have here. In honor of that, I remembered to actually put on my only Star Trek shirt that I have. Because the NX-01 is right over here. It's the NX-01. It's the thing we're making. I remembered that I own this shirt because this is the third stream where we're working on this kit. I definitely kept forgetting to put it on. So I remembered. Obviously, at the time of this shirt's creation, this was it as far as the captains and their ships. So I made that, so I made sure to wear that. I didn't make the shirt, but I made sure to wear the shirt. But yeah, we got the Enterprise NX-01. We are going to do, we did panel lining on it. We assembled it. I put glue here to keep these from falling apart. It doesn't look perfect, but it looks great. And then we're going to be applying some water slide transfer decals. We got a bunch here. We don't use all of them. I even clipped one out to get my hands together because it's been a hot minute since I did this. But we don't use all of these because there's a lot of different ways you can stylize this ship. So we're getting into that. We're going to do some panel not panel line, sorry, water slide decals. It's been a hot minute since I did water slide decals, so I'm excited to work on that. And then I got a Lego set. So we'll go through the process of getting this Lego set out and getting the parts sorted. It is the I just been calling it the camper van, but it is in fact the holiday camper van. It's the holiday camper van. We're going on a holiday. We got the very rare young child minifig, and just like a cool little thing. And it features I love that it features like an area for the minifigs to sleep up there, like the over thing, the bed area, which is pretty cool. And of course, swings out so you can play around with it. We haven't done a Lego set on the stream in a while. It's got some decals to put on there. Got some camping gear stuff. Excited about that. And in general, just Lego builds are very chill for me. This is the chillest thing because you can fix Lego. When Lego is wrong, other than probably applying the decals, you can fix Lego. And sometimes I make a mistake in a model kit and I'm like, oh, fuck. Oh, no. So working with Lego is always like, I'm always like, yeah. Okay. It's been, like I said, it's been a hot minute for a bunch of the stuff we're doing tonight. So that's very good. All right. Well, we're also going to talk about some stuff that's going on with me. Tonight will be the last stream here in this room. Lego loves you whether or not you're a klutz, and I'm a klutz, a Rist fan, speaking truth. This is my last stream here in the Carolina room here because my folks are coming back on Sunday. But here's the deal. What I don't want to do on Saturday after the stream is break down all the gear I have out here and move it all into my bedroom Saturday night. I don't want to do that. I want to do that over the next 2 days and slowly transition back. So that also on Saturday I will stream from the bedroom, which makes tonight the last night here in this area with the fun background over here and my things on display. I might try to display some things in the room because I kind of like it. But yeah, I'll be moving back into the bedroom. It also gives me something to do tomorrow because I realized outside of feeding fish for my neighbor, I had nothing to do tomorrow. So I might as well move stuff in there and get things ready for that. So that's the plan. Tonight's the last night here in the Carolina room, the bonus room. So it's the last night of having Ethernet, which is great. And that's a shame. But honestly, the upload isn't so much better than wireless upload. It's just that it's the downloads are way better. Oh, the downloads are better. Anyway, I'm gonna hit retweet my own tweet. Looks like we might have a chill Thursday night, which is it's just a bummer because Thursday is our primary night. It was the first night of the stream. Hell, well, Harold just subscribed to Tier 1. That's 40 months. Thank you so much, Harold. Let's throw the Barricade Legos, set them out, and thank Harold for that. We at least have that lovely renewal. Appreciate that very much. Thank you for renewing your subscription. Harold means a lot. Throwing in emotes, of course, also the bomb as well. But thank you very much, Harold. But yeah, I'm just thinking maybe it's going to be a chill night. Last night, we had a pretty good numbers considering I played Hearthstone, which is my least viewed of all my bonus content. It goes, before we get into it, we'll say, it goes Hearthstone. Oh, and Harold's also cheering 69 bits. Harold with 69. Yeehaw! Gets that on the soundboard. Nice. It's nice. No, what I was going to say was, it's, Lord Crashing says, nice. It's, as far as viewership goes for my bonus content, it is. Pat Plays Hearthstone is here. Then above that is Pat Talks About Anime. And then above that is Pat Plays Pokemon. Jackbox is around anime, and Cloud Gardens is below anime, above Hearthstone. But Hearthstone is literally my least viewed as far as my bonus stuff goes. But I really like playing Hearthstone. So, also, it requires zero setup. I just have to make sure that I've updated Hearthstone that day, and I have because I've probably played it that day. So other than making sure it's updated, and then my overlay is updated, we're good to go, which is beautiful for me. Okay, so move the mouse out of the way here. We're doing the bottom of the kit. Now, what I don't want to do is just lay this flat on my table, because these while these are glued in, I'm afraid these are going to pop off. So when we do the top slide decals, we can use the stand. So we'll do that. But for the bottom, I've put it on the box, and it's just the box. And so it'll have some give. It won't be the kind of resistance we'll get in there. So if I put a lot of pressure on this, it should make the box buckle a little bit, which will be a good indication for me that I'm putting too much pressure on it. I'll also be holding the kit sometimes, but it does take two hands to do this. So what are we doing tonight with water slide decals? We are going to cut out the decal, or sticker, whatever you want to call it. We're going to cut it out using our X-Acto knife. Then we are going to use our tweezers. We are going to put it in the water here, in our cup of water. Then we're going to put it on a paper towel to just sit there, so it's not just sitting right on the table. Then we're going to take our Q-tips, and we're going to dip that in water. We're going to prep the area that we're going to be applying the decal. Then we will use our tweezers and our X-Acto knife to slide the still wet sticker to the area we need. If we don't get it right and moving it around seems to be a problem, we can use our Q-tip to slide it around as well. Then we will let it sit and dry naturally. This is so these are slightly modifications. We can also use a dry. We'll probably use a dry Q-tip to kind of hit it a little bit without moving it. The biggest change we've done from previous attempts of this is I'm not just going to leave the sticker in the water until we're ready to apply it. I'm going to take the sticker out, still wet, and let it not dry, but sit outside the water, which theoretically will make the sticker separate a little bit from the paper, because they will start to dry at different rates because it's two different materials. This is what my research tells me. I'm trying out a new method here. And also, we're starting on the bottom, not just because we can put it on its stand and it'll make it easier to do that, but also because it's the bottom and I don't care as much. I just don't care as much. The marker use on this kind makes it look used toy that a kid played with every day a few decades ago. Okay, I can see that. My hope is that it does make it seem a little bit more vibrant, because we're not getting the paint. We're not getting the paint there. So I'm hoping that it does make it seem cool. All right, so we're doing the bottom, I'm looking for what we need to do here. Let's start with one that isn't that hard. It's small, but it's not that big. That's kind of what I want to go with. So we're going to, I already pre-cut a little bit here just to, so we'll pop this out here. I appreciate that. Also, hey, Lashbrook, I am using I'm using my X-Acto knife. I do have a piece of cardboard down here so that I am not cutting into the table, which I have done certainly in the past. My previous table, which is in storage right now in New York, has many, many marks from when I made that wrestling belt. All right, so we're going to put this in here. We're going to get this wet a little bit. Let this get a little wet, get some water on it. And then we're going to take it out, and we're going to let it sit over here and see if that will separate a little bit. We will take our Q-tip. We will not stab ourselves. Take our Q-tip here. And then we are doing, right here, we're going to apply this here. So we're going to apply this to the area. Going to get this nice and wet. Get that nice and wet there. The area we need. We'll go outside of it. Great. Put that aside. All right. We're going to take here. I am going to attempt to find, under the light here, to hold the paper, but not hold the slide with the Q-tip. Or, sorry, with the tweezers. Okay, yeah. All right, so let's get this like this. We'll use our X-Acto knife here. And I'm going to double check how that looks. I think it looks like that. So we want to go the other way with it. So we're going to turn the actual kit there. And then we're going to apply like that. Okay, yeah, so this is how it's going to look. Then we'll use the knife to slide it where we want it. I should be holding this with my other hand because I am left-handed. But that's okay because we can take that off there. And now we will use the blade here to hit this. Is this right or should it be the other way? Let's turn it around. Yeah, that's better. Yes, that's better. Okay, that's how it should look. Great. All right, so we're going to let that sit there for a second. We're going to hit the dry, make sure it's dry. Q-tip, just kind of hitting this area here, kind of patting out. We are not putting any pressure. We're blotting. We're just trying to get up any excess water that might be on here, because what we don't want to do is move it around, because then we have to make it wet again. We just moved it around a little bit. I'm going to fix that. So put that there. I didn't realize you're left-handed. Lefties unite. Hell yeah, Harold. Yes, I am left-handed. You don't see me right on the stream, so you wouldn't know that. And that is okay that you don't know that. But yeah, I am a lefty. All right, so we'll put that there. We're going to put the line here this way. So we're going to get another 4 out. Oh, these are 4. Try to give room here. Okay. And so I'm trying to remove this paper so that we can pull it out without cutting the cutting into any of the other slides or stickers, water slides. So we'll put this in water here. Let that sit in for water for a second. We will take it out. We'll let it sit for a little bit. We will take our wet Q-tip that we have over here, kind of wet that again. Hit this area that we are hitting here with some water. Make our life a little easier. And then we will take here. We're going to try to hold this and get these slips. This slide somehow is in 2 pieces. I don't know why this slide is in 2 pieces, which is frustrating, but true. It's in 2 pieces. So did I do that? Is it a problem? I don't like saying, did I do that? Is, something happened? What happened here? But yeah, this is in two pieces. So uh, obviously there was an issue. Now this could, like I said, could be user error. I could have fucked up somewhere. It also could have just been damaged at some point. But yeah, so we're going to try to carefully apply these two parts in a way that looks natural and good. And we're also going to try not to get this piece stuck to itself in an odd position. I am getting a lot of reflection off of my overhead light, which is frustrating for me, and I apologize if that looks bad for anybody else. That looks okay. Doesn't look perfect. Again, this is also the underside. So if this doesn't look perfect, I'm okay because you won't really see it except for I will take a photo when this side is done. All right, we did that. So we're done with 4 and 4. I'm going to take my pen and I'm going to cross out these so that we know that we're done with them. Let's work around it. We got to do a 14 here and a 10 there. Hey, let's put the NX-01 on. That'll be fun. Let's see. What's going on with me? I should talk about me stuff, I guess. I don't know. While I get ready to do this. Went and fed some fish today, which was good. That was fun. It is nice having a thing that I need to do every day that I can just go and do. So that was nice. The fish are neat. That was cool to do. I'm only doing that tomorrow and Saturday. I'll be done on Saturday with that because they're coming back. They're also coming back on Sunday, which is nice. Yeah, that's been fun. So I did that. I played a lot of Stepmania, which is the a lot of DDR songs in Stepmania. That has been a nice thing. I played probably too much, but I'm taking advantage of the fact that I don't have anybody else in this house right now. So nobody hears me stomping around and sweating and generally having, the time of my life, but also being a sweaty, stompy mess because I'm a big man moving around, stomping around to dance music. And weird covers and various other things. So there's the NX-01. We're going to take that, going to put that aside there. We'll get our Q-tip here, and we'll prep the area we need, which is, it is along the same line here. So it is the X, or the dash should be basically, I'm kind of eyeballing it here. So there's a line there, and then there are two little lines there. So it's in this area here. And the X should be right where this line is right there. So it's this area here is where we're going to be putting our water. I've never done DDR, but it seems fun. I mean, it's super fun. So look, there's a big difference between going to an arcade or a Dave & Buster's or whatever, where there is a DDR machine and you're wearing your sneakers and you're going for it and you're having a great time. I think that is a really fun experience, especially if you're with people and especially if you're with somebody that knows how to walk you through it. Stepmania is a different experience. In particular, for me, Stepmania is a different experience, which is the home version, because I am using a very inexpensive, not good pad. And of course, I'm not wearing shoes to do it, which is just a different experience. And I would just say that it is not as fun. It is not as fun to do that way because it's not as precise. But it's still cool, and I'm still having a good time with it. All right, so the X should be right where the line is. So let's slide this here off and then put this here. And then we're going to use our wet Q-tip to kind of push this where we need it here. All right, that didn't work. So then we'll take our X-Acto knife and we're trying not to make sure we rip it. And then we will just line up where we want it. Just here. Whew, okay. Needs all the flashy lights and sound of arcade for the best experience. Yeah, I mean, the big difference is arcade machines generally have maintenance. Obviously, the pads are going to be better quality because they are meant to be used by a lot of people, and they should have some sort of maintenance on them, which we're always happy about. All right, so we're going to let that dry there. I think that actually turned out pretty okay. All right, so we're going to move over to the other side and do the same thing on the other side. With the NX-01. But yeah, the home is just not the same. Now, there are people that spend a lot of money on very good pads. There are some great pads that have like metal frames and are really solid, and people have very good experiences with those. I have never owned one of those very expensive because it has never been a priority of mine to have that experience. But it is a better experience. So, but yeah, the arcade and all that it is fun. It's just fun that way. All right, so we're gonna take this, gonna place it here in the water, get it wet a little bit here, get that going. But yeah, my ankles are definitely sore after playing a lot of DDR today. But yeah, I was just taking advantage of the fact that I had the apartment to myself. All right, so now we're gonna prep the area here. Again, we want the X on this side. We want the X. We'll do it we'll do it like this. I think that's. I'm going to try to keep this looking the way it does here on the instruction on the manual here. All right, so we're just going to wet this whole area. Just wet this area. The marker is very dry at this point. You might be able to see that we're not getting any ink from the Gundam markers that we used here because it's been several days of its setting, which is a thing. If you're going to be trying to do all this at once, you want to let this dry before you go and apply stickers. Dry before you apply. That was not my intention to do, but I'll take it. All right, so now we gotta lift this up. Come on, there we go. And all right, and so we want the X to be kind of where this line is there. So we're just going to pull this off here. And then kind of drag that nice and slow. I got real quiet there. I apologize for getting real quiet there. But this is I would call this the most delicate work that I do on the Build With Baer Workshop is applying water slide decals because it can be stressful. Now we're just going to slowly blot this without trying to move it. And everything's going to be okay. Oops, we moved it. So we'll use the wet one. And then we'll use our X-Acto to rock it back here. And then we're good. We're going to hit it just a little bit here. Oh, it moved. All right, we're back. We're good. For other people I know who do water slides, it seems like there are solutions out there you use instead of water, Microsol and Microset. Yes. So water is in the name of water slides, right? This is what they were designed for. Now, other people use a solution instead to separate it, and then they use a spray on top to seal it and lock it in place. If you were going to display this for years and you use water slides, you would want to put basically the equivalent of a clear coat on top of it to lock it in place. Because depending on the plastic, some of these stickers are going to dry and flake a little bit and maybe peel up a little bit years and years down the line. I don't think I'm even going to save this for more than a couple months. I don't think it's a great kit. I didn't super enjoy putting it together. I'm liking this. I like all of you. That's a separate issue. For me, this is an experience of streaming it, putting it together, saying I've done more of these, being able to tell people I don't think that the Polar Lights kits are good unless you like painting. It is nice for me to be able to say that now that I have done this and the Defiant, I can have a more informed opinion, and I'm happy to have that. But would I get another one of these kits to build? Probably not. I mean, look, do I want to get the Enterprise D? Sort of. Yeah, it seems kind of be all about detailing it. Yeah, and that's to me, the build process is my favorite part of any of it. Oh, weird. My favorite part about building is the building. I really like the building. So I kind of want to keep building. Like, that's to me, and that was the least fun part of this because the pieces are really tiny and the shell is the shell of it. Uh, yeah, I didn't love that part. So, oh, Q Cube just subscribed. That's 7 months. Thank you so much, Q Cube. We're gonna hit the old plus in there. Let's throw the Bear Cave Lego Scythe emote. Thank you, Cube, for subscribing. Appreciate that so much, my friend. Welcome, welcome. Happy to have you here. We're doing some. We're getting some stuff done here by doing some lovely slides. All right, so this is going to be, this is a big slide, right? Okay, yeah. Gotta make sure I'm doing this right. So, yes. Underneath the light, I can kind of see where the paper extends there and where the stickers are. This is a big sticker, which is fine. So we can hit that. We'll take our time with it. We're not doing every single part. We're not doing all of the stickers even for this because there are stickers here that go over here, and I don't like how they go on. And I messed up a little bit, so I'm not worried about it. But we're still going to do plenty of these, mainly just because it'll be a while probably before I do this again, so I might as well get the most out of it and kind of show my methods for doing water slides. But yeah, pull that out there. I do eventually need to get new blades for my X-Acto knife. The tip of this is broken, and it isn't as sharp as it used to be because I've been using it. So eventually I will need to get a new blade. But right now it's doing the job. So we'll get this in the water. Then we'll take it out here. We'll prep the area with a wet Q-tip. The area being this, and this. It's pretty standard or easy enough to see where it goes. So it's going to be this component here, this piece here, this into that. And so we're just going to wet this whole area down to make it easier to apply the water slide decal. But yeah, yeah, I didn't have as much fun with this as I would like. So that's a shame. I am excited about the next stuff, but also I am excited to be able to talk about these things. Like it is fun for me to be able to talk about the process and what I like and don't like about kits, and having the ability to have an opinion is, I'm excited about that. Maybe I should come from the other way, but we'll get this on and then we'll get this straight here. Okay, so this has to go over like this. Okay. All right. We'll hit that, but we're going to be very careful as we hit. It's a big sticker. Okay. All right. I get quiet there, and I apologize. It's not good for streaming for me to just suddenly get quiet, but I'm concentrating. I'm trying to nail it. All right. What else do we have to do on this one? Because we did that. We did that. We got to do some lines here. We'll do the 7Bs, the 7s. Let's do the 7s. Or the 7Bs. I don't know. We got more to do here. The 14 is just the line things. And we can do that. That's 14 and that's 15. These are just straight up lines. Yeah, all right, we'll do that. I hope you're all doing well out there in internet lands. Yeah, I had a pretty good day getting some stuff done. Trying to get some things happening. It looks like I will be doing a little bit of a charity stream. We only did one last year. Last year I did one charity stream. because of just the year in general. But I am looking to do one in April, taking part in something, working with a group I haven't worked with before. So this will not be a Giant Bomb, although I will be supporting several Giant Bomb streams. This will be in April, but it will not be related to that. But I have been approached to do some work that is related to what we're doing now. Uh, I will be doing some sort of model kit building for a charity stream. No details to convey yet, other than it's April. It's model kit building. I have a model kit that I will save for that. That is a weird kit because I feel like for charity I should do something like eye catching. So I do have something in mind that will be good for that. Um, that I think like people would be like, oh, I do want to see that get put together. So that's the plan right now. When I have more details, you will get them. But yeah, I mean the thing is, it's been tough. It's been tough for everybody, but it's certainly been hard for charities. And so hopefully I can raise some money and help some people out, and that would be rad. So we'll do that. Uh, but yeah, it also it seems like most, if not all, of the people involved are all builders, and I don't interact too much with that community. Uh, there are several people, obviously, who watch, who come here because they look for Gunpla, or they're looking in the makers and crafting, which I categorize myself as, and they're seeing what I do and they come in from that. But I think a lot of y'all, this is something that you're into, but or you're not into this, but you're just into the community and chat and what I'm about and what I do. Uh, and then also some of you have gotten into it because of that. So yeah, I don't think it would be a bad idea to have a few people who don't know what I'm into and what I'm about to see what's going on. So kind of excited for that. Obviously, there are many people out there with a lot more knowledge than me. But, as I always say, I'm not an expert. I'm an enthusiast with a lot of practical hours. Okay, so we did 14. Now we can do 8, which is over here, the other lines. Uh, Honestly, I think that blends pretty cool with our panel lining. I think that looks pretty neat. And obviously, it stands out. It's a decal. It's gonna look different than the than if we had just did panel lining. But I think it blends pretty well. So hit that here and hit that there. Pop it out. Let's see. There's other stuff going on. I mean, there's lots of discourse today. Most of it is nonsense. I don't really want to weigh in on things too much. I will point out that one, I'm not here to yuck people's yum. Two, I'm not here to tell you what you can and can't think is cool and good and fun. But I will say this. It's fucking very hilarious that some people who were earnestly upset that the new Space Jam movie is going to have a less breast-forward Lola Bunny. The image that was used in the comparison is a fan edit. It's not a still from the movie, the first Space Jam movie. So some people were like, "Oh, look what they did," and it's just what their minds remember, and it's very telling. Also, as I tweeted, Beastars exists. If you need to be horny for a bunny, Beastars is there for you. It's not even Zootopia. It's just Beastars is just like, are you horny for animals? Because they are there. Lord Crashton wants me to hit that gong. I will certainly hit that gong. I hit that gong, my decorative gong. Yeah. Last day in this room gong, indeed. Space Jam is for kids. Yeah, I mean, also yes. And hey, let's say let's we can say this. Uh One of the reasons why Lola Bunny's design is the way it um, is because uh, Bugs Bunny wore drag a lot and pretended to be a lady to use his wiles to mess with people. So much so that if you just try to fem up Bugs Bunny to make Lola Bunny, it's just Bugs. So the ponytail wasn't enough, so they did other things to be like, this is a lady bunny. So that's part of the reason, is just that it's like, oh shit, we made Bugs Bunny too sexy over the many years of Looney Tunes. What do we do now? Uh, which is awesome. But yeah, I mean, it's just like, yeah, it's for kids. Guess what? Space Jam 2 is also going to be for kids. Uh, People get mad at Lady Bunnies. She probably shouldn't have been designed that way back then, but now people know better. Yeah, look, Chris, that's what I'm saying. Like, part of it is just that they were like, oh, we're backed in the corner. And also, we shouldn't do this, but nobody said that. Instead, they were like, let's go for it. And now they're like, whatever. And also, it's still just a cartoon for kids. And um, what a great animator problem to have. Yeah, I mean, that's like, to me, that was the thing that I took away, that I was like, that's very funny. That they were like, ah, fuck. Ah, shit, what are we going to do? Um, but they'll say that about everything, like, oh, they toned this down, they did that. It's just a perfect storm. It's just a good day for that, with people just being complete nonsensical. Like, to me, it's very funny that people are like, the government is canceling Dr. Seuss when it's the estate of Dr. Seuss. So so you think the folks that are mad about that would be thrilled that the market is working as intended. A company is making a decision with no forced input about what it does and doesn't do. Also, if you look at Amazon and you see what books people are buying by Dr. Seuss, it's not the books. It's not the ones that the estate has decided not to continue to print, because people didn't even go that far. They're just buying the Dr. Seuss books they remember, which were already self-edited in many ways by people's parents not buying those ones because they remember them and being and getting the ones that they thought were saying the right message. Which is, people don't want to hear that their folks were part of cancel culture. Also, we did change the name of French fries at one point because we were mad at France. Some of you don't remember that because you're younger, you're way younger than me, and it's okay if you are and you don't remember freedom fries. But when I say freedom fries, it sounds hilarious, and at the time, it also was hilarious. But it was part of a larger thing where it was very embarrassing. Freedom fries is a very embarrassing part of our culture, where we were so mad at France that we as in collective part of the nation of the United States, decided the best course of answer was to change the name. Yeah, Aristovan, back when we had that worst president. It's just, that time was very sad because there were people who were like, oh, they think blah, blah, blah. Well, here we call them freedom fries, and it's just like, why? Why do we call them that? Why? Did you stop to think about what freedom means? And in this particular context, what freedoms are you talking about? What freedoms are you withholding because a country is doing something we didn't like? They are choosing to actively not do a thing that we've decided is fucking cool. Yikes, 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 yikes. It's a lot of stuff. Where's number 6? I need to find number 6, folks. Number 6 is these two boxes. It's these two boxes here that go. Hey, that goes over the hole though. Why would I do that? So here's an interesting thing. Number 6 here, which I'll show you, is two boxes here, and it goes here, but that's where we're going to put this. So should we? We're not going to do 6. It doesn't make any sense to put a decal on there because I'm just going to have to poke a hole in that decal. Why am I going to poke a hole in that decal? So we're not doing number 6. We can move on, and we'll do 7 and 7, and then the other two ones, and then we'll be done on the bottom. Or we have to do 7, 7B as well. Remember all the people pushing their glasses up and going, actually, French fries are from Belgium. Indeed, they are from Belgium. We are just nonsense people. French fries are not from France. We just call them French fries. France doesn't care about that. Maybe some of them do, but not enough of them care about that for it to matter at all to anyone. But yeah, a bunch of nonsense. Look, here's the thing. I fucking wish cancel culture was real. It would be great. You know what actually can't... You know where cancel culture is real? Is sometimes people get swept up in some bullshit and they can't ever be forgiven. France don't care. That's where cancel culture is. There is not So, people are so used to someone fucking up, completely and utterly fucking up, just like making terrible decisions with no cares and no responsibility taken, going away for a while, and then just sliding into another lane and being like, oh, I'm here now. Or coming back as if nothing has happened. And then acting like that. And then people who were kind of bummed they couldn't like the thing they liked or the person they liked or whatever, who will be totally willing to be like, oh, you're back. Fuck yeah. Yeah, it's so weird that you were gone, but you're back now. And it's cool, and welcome back. And then some people being like, it's a bummer that this person is back. This sucks. And other people being like, well, no, you're wrong. People are so used to that it's actually very difficult for someone to be like, hey, I really fucked up. Here are the ways I'm going to try to be better about this and try to fix what I did. And I'm going to be open and honest about it. And the people that wanted to welcome back don't want to hear that because it means they were wrong as well. So it's very hard to try to be a better person and make attempts to change and grow, because you end up with the people that don't want to hear it, don't want you back that way. They want you back the way where you pretend like nothing was wrong. And then the people who are hurt, that were hurt by you in the first place, are mixed. Some of them don't want it back. And some of them are like, oh, okay, well, all right. But they also don't want to be like, they don't want to get hurt again. So they're not interested in rightfully so. They don't want to get hurt again. So they're not like, well, you've made a bunch of progress on this, and I'm glad that you can recognize the hurt you caused, because they don't want it to blow up in their faces, because some people fucking lie about that shit too, which really fucking sucks, obviously. It's when people lie about trying to make changes. So it's very hard. You are 100% better off just like waiting it out and trying to jump back. I am witnessing someone do that right now who is on the outskirts of a friend group. I am not associated with her in any way, shape, or form, but I am associated with people who are close to her, and I am watching her just like tip her toes into coming back without making any sort of effort to make amends for what she did over the course of many years. And it's like, fuck. All right, well, I guess you're just gonna come back. All right, it's not my place for the reckoning, but fuck that. But why should she try to make amends and try to show growth and take the time to fully understand what she did? Other people don't do that shit. Uh, God, we just watched in 2020. Watched a toxic garbage person. Hello, Bobby. Just be like, hey. And Julie's here too. Welcome, welcome. Yes, a toxic garbage person. Just be like, hey, I'm back talking about video games. I just found a different niche to work on video game stuff. I found myself a different subset of a community with a much younger audience who doesn't remember 5 years ago when when I had my issues, my very noticeable issues, because they weren't part of that group. So I just move over here. And some folks are just like, yeah, I've been supporting you on Patreon this whole time anyway, so this is great for me. And other people were like, this fucking sucks. Hey, person that just collaborated with this garbage, did you not do any research about that? And the person's like, oh, yeah, but it was going to be an interesting story. It's just like, oh, well, fuck you then. It's fucking mess. It's a lot of it's a mess. What I'm saying is nobody has ever actually been canceled. Um, the closest thing we have to cancel culture is people have been pushed off the thing they're doing by garbage. Um, and don't come back. That is actually cancel culture. Actually canceling is when people were doing something very cool and the response to that was people being awful to them, and they were like, oh, well, I'm just not going to do this cool thing anymore. Fuck this shit. Why would I do this to myself? But people who are like, I'm doing an awful thing, and apparently people are upset about the awful thing I'm doing, well, I'm going to wait this out. There was a whole Kickstarter thing a couple days ago. You probably didn't hear about it. It wasn't a big thing. You would probably hear about it if you are very deep into tabletop and very deep into Kickstarter funded tabletop. Then you probably fucking heard about it. Tabletop and RPG stuff. But there was a thing where somebody who is like trying to make a comeback. And unfortunately, part of their comeback was with one of the biggest names in RPGs and tabletop. So that's a fucking nightmare. Side note, freelancers don't know anything outside of the purview of what they've been contracted to do. This is a thing that I want to stress out there for all y'all. If you see a bunch of names working on a project and someone's like, this person contributed music to this project. The person that contributed music doesn't know every writer on the project. That is one of the huge downsides of that, is they don't always know everything. So in that particular instance, there were a bunch of people who were like, well, fuck, you didn't tell me that this garbage was writing on the project. I don't want to contribute to this anymore. Because you don't know. You don't always know. It sucks you don't always know, but you don't always know. Yeah, there was some brouhaha there. Oops. That's good to know. I hadn't thought of that. Yeah, I mean that was that's the thing, right? Like, I'm trying to remember. Oh, so I had a thing where, I had a panel, one of my many panels. I will say it was a panel that I was producing, where I had a guest, and another guest, a guest dropped out, and I replaced it with somebody, and then the person I replaced with had some issues. and somebody else was like, hey, I can't do this. You're putting me in a very bad position. I can't be a part of this. And I was like, yes, of course you can. I shouldn't have booked the person I booked in the first place, but I did, and I will take responsibility for that. I have booked some people at times that are not cool, that are not and were not cool, and I have had to deal with that and take responsibility for that. And I am willing to take responsibility for booking people who are not awesome in the past, and hopefully not in the future. Um, Sounds similar to something that happened with the TTRPG Kickstarter project recently. The contributors didn't know who else was contributing until the project went up. Yes, literally, Bobby, I'm talking about that. That is the thing that I am talking about that just happened, where somebody in a lot of power made a call about who was, not everybody who was contributing knew everybody who was contributing, and one of the people contributing until it went live. And some big names were involved. Yeah, no, it's okay. Don't worry about it, Bobby. But yeah, that is literally a thing that happened, and it is fucking rough. It's a rough thing to be in. But that's, yeah, you don't know everything. Like, I've had, not in the biggest scale of that, but like booking League of Heels. You book a lot of people. And one person who got, and also there was a point where League of Heels, three of us were booking the show because it's hard to book 30 performers. So we would book a show, and the list would go out, and then promotions would start to happen, and someone would go, "Hey, sorry, I can't do this because this person is involved," and then I have to be like, "Hey, I don't know everybody's business. Is this I just don't want to be involved with this person, or should this person not be involved with anyone? And I'm so sorry that I have to ask that, but I don't know." And then sometimes it was just like, oh, yeah, no, I just don't. We just like, we're in the same, we used to work together and it's weird and I don't want to do it. Or people were like, no, this person is a fucking problem. I'm sorry, I can't believe you didn't know that. And it's like, oh, okay, no, those are two different things. I did run into that where sometimes it was just like personalities of like, I don't like this person. They were rude to me at a bar once, and maybe in a few years we'll be fine, but we're not fine right now. And then sometimes it's like, oh yeah, no, that person is trash. You shouldn't have them involved. It's like, okay. That looks pretty rad. This looks pretty good. Yeah, it's a weird thing and a difficult one. Indeed, this is the NX-01. Alt tab throwing in the NX love. Yes, we're doing the 01. We are not doing the proposed modifications. We are doing the original version here with the. We're going with stickers for the original, the NX-01. We could do the 2. We could do the ISS version. We could do the Columbia sticker, but we're going with the original. We have one more decal to put here on the bottom, and then I will take a photo of this progress, and then we'll flip it over, and we'll put it on the top, which is cool. And, of course, we will take a pause for the cause in a bit, talk about ways you can support the channel, doing all of that. Oh, I'm sorry, we have 3 more stickers to do. I got ahead of myself. Forgot. There's a couple more stickers I haven't done yet. No, we're not doing the refit. The refit is cool. The refit, the fact that it included the refit, the proposed refit, to make it look more, like the original series version. But we're just going with the original. So this kit does have the parts to do the refit. I'll show you here, the box, side of the box. You can build the refit version on this kit, which is very cool. So they do allow for that. Yeah, the proposed refit version from the season that never was, which is cool. That is a cool thing that they include. But we didn't go for that. We decided to do the original version here. And we are doing no paint because I don't have the proper equipment for that. Certainly don't have the proper equipment to stream painting. So we just did panel lining, and we're doing some water slides. Because that's kind of where I'm at right now. That's where that goes. But then we're talking about a bunch of stuff. We will take a pause to the cause in a moment or two. We'll talk about ways you can support the channel if you'd like. Let's get this applied. Going by my reference here. Ooh, that went on perfectly. I'm going to lightly pad this. Good night, Harold. Yeah, I'll tap. I mean, like, I don't love the Polar Lights kits because my favorite part of model kit building is the actual assembly of model kits, not the stickers and painting and panel lining. And these kits are very easy to put together, uh, except for that some of the parts are incredibly tiny. But you know, it's a big shell. It's a big shell. You snap it together, and then you got to do all the work to make it look great. I kind of lean more towards model kits of the Gundam variety, Gunpla stuff, Bandai stuff. That's just my preference. That's just kind of more of what I'm into. Uh, but I have definitely over the course of doing this, and I did a Defiant last year, and like I've been happy to do it, but it was fun to do. But it is like right now I'm kind of learning that okay, I don't love this as much. This style. It is cool to have. It is cool to say that I'm working on this kit. Like that's fun. I do like that. All right, 15 and 9. So let's find 15 and 9. 15 and 9 right over here. So we'll do 9. Uh, Same. I build all Gunpla. RGs currently. Nice. Yeah, look. I love how awesome real grades look. I have found I am not a huge fan of building real grades on stream just because of the tiny pieces. I'm much more into master grades and high grades, but the look of them. Also, I say that, and my one of my favorite kits I've ever built in my life happened to be a real grade, but that's because the Sazabi is a huge kit, is a giant machine, so the real grade of a giant machine is still big. But oh boy, that real grade is phenomenal. Sazabi real grade is just unbelievably good. Uh, it is definitely one of my favorite builds. Way too much time for a stream. Yeah, it's just the small detail of the build is what gets me. I would say probably the Iron Blooded Orphans full mechanics are actually the sweet spot of size and build details. Putting it all together, it's got stickers, but not too much panel. It looks great with some panel lining. Those are probably the sweet spot. I'm interested to learn about the new full mechanics that are coming out. I pre-ordered the Calamity, so I am interested in finding out what that is going to be. It's a different kind of full mechanics. They just basically are reusing the name, which is an odd choice, but okay. But it'll be different. So I'm interested in finding out what that is and kind of learning. Also, the Calamity is just a cool looking kit with a great name. All right, that looks okay. Not perfect. So we will just get this down here. We'll hit with a little bit of water here. And then line it up right. Folks, I guess I'm going to fucking figure out Fight TV. Watch an AEW pay-per-view on Sunday. I've had to think to myself, am I actually going to pay for a pay-per-view for knowing that I'm only super interested in like 2 or 3 matches, but I'm very invested in the AEW women's tournament and Rio won, so like I'm even more interested in Rio. I mean, I kind of want to root for Aniki. I can't imagine she's going to win, but what if she did? That would be dope. Maybe she will. I don't know. Maybe there'll be shenanigans in it, and she won't. She'll win, but not keep the belt. I don't know. If you VPN in the UK, it's only $20 on Fight. I mean, that is Lashbrook. That is advice. Thank you for that. That is certainly a thing I could do. I don't know. I don't know. I have to think about it for Sunday if that's just something I want to do. I am invested though. And there's other stuff happening that are kind of interesting to me. I'm very nervous about. I just don't want Sting to get hurt. You know, he's an old man. He doesn't need to be doing this. He's not that old, but he's still old enough. I just, I feel bad. These older guys want to take the bumps, and I'm like, I mean, you can. I'm not saying they can't take the bumps. I don't want them to, because they're old men, and I want them to be okay. And they busted their bodies for a very long time for the amusement of many. And I would like them to be okay, to feel good. I don't know. Anytime a flips and kicks and dives wrestler reinvents their wrestling style to work a style that is not as much flips and big kicks off things and jump and dives, I'm always all for it. Like if you can change your style to work in a way that doesn't destroy your body as much. That sounds rad and good for you, and please do that. But I don't know. I don't know if you watched yet, but they had Tully Blanchard wrestle right now. Yeah, I didn't see that part. I watched clips of Wednesday night. I didn't see all of Wednesday, so I didn't get to the Tulliness. But like, I don't need that. I just don't need that. I don't know. I don't know. Like I just want like there are wrestlers I really like, and I want them to do cool work and be excited about what they're working on and contribute, and there's definitely a place for them. But like, I don't know. I don't know. It's kind of I feel conflicted about that stuff. Cuz like sometimes it doesn't look good and you're like, "Oh no. Oh no." And like, yeah, fuck, your memories. Who cares about your memories? But like it also sometimes it's just like, that didn't work the way it should have. That doesn't look the way it's supposed to. Like, oh, this looks ooh, that looked painful. That looked actually painful, not like I don't know. Yeah. All right. We are done with this side of this kit. I'm going to take a photo of it so I have photographic evidence of this side. So give me one moment while I take a snapshot here on my phone. We'll just get in there. Yeah. And then we are going to, we don't need to use this anymore. We're going to, actually, you know what? This is perfect. We're going to let this dry. We're going to push this underneath the light, let this dry, because then we'll flip it over and do the other decals. So let's take a moment here to let this dry and do our pause for the cause. This is folks, if you're new to the stream, this is a thing I do every build stream. I take a couple minutes to talk about ways you can support the channel. There are various ways you can do that. First and foremost, if you're not currently following, give me a follow. Turn your notifications on so you know when I go live. I build Mondays, Thursdays, Saturdays, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Time. Wednesdays, I do something else that's unrelated. Always a different thing that is not model kit building. Last night we played Hearthstone, and I showed a clip from a television appearance I made 10 years ago to the day of yesterday, which I was not expecting to do. If you're currently a subscriber, you can throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe emote in chat. Let the people know you're a subscriber by using those emotes. You can gift a sub. Aristofan gifted a bunch of subs, and that was rad of Aristofan. We appreciate that very much here. Bits and coins. Harold donated some bits earlier in the night, being the only person on the leaderboard. But yeah, bits and coins are always appreciated. Gifting a sub. If you've been gifted a sub, you can convert that into an actual subscription if you want. And they won't charge you until that free month you had has expired. So you can do it today, and they won't charge you until it's time. That is another way to support what I do. You are under no obligation to do any of that. But if you would like to, that would be rad. Also, if you haven't followed, as I said before, I should say, we are almost at 1,500 followers. I would love to hit 1,500 followers. Is that a number that means anything? Not really, but it's a cool number. So if you haven't followed yet, feel free to do so. Now, outside of this, Twitch, there are other ways to support what I do. I have a Patreon, because of course I do. But instead of $5 a month here, you could join my Patreon at the $1 or $3 or $5 or $10 level, and you get different rewards for doing that. So patreon.com/PatBaer. Also a thing you can do if you wanted to is subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is free, youtube.com/PatBaer. And while you're there, if you wanted to, you could become a member. I have memberships. You can join at youtube.com/PatBaer. That is a brand new thing. I have 0 members right now, but someday maybe I will, and it's $2 a month. And anything I make through Patreon, through Twitch, through YouTube goes back into buying model kits so I can keep this going. Direct donations is another way to do that. If you want to do that, you get my PayPal, my Streamlabs. It'll pop up here in an overlay if you do Streamlabs. Direct donations goes into a fund, and I buy model kits. I just purchased a kit that I'm excited about that will arrive on Monday so that I can keep having kits to build. But I just bought one on Amazon that's got some really nice colors, and I think it's going to look really good panel lined. And I have some stuff in my backlog to work on. Now, if you're like, Pat, put aside that backlog. You do what I want you to do. Much like Air did, only obviously in a nice way. When Air bought the NX-01 that I'm currently building now, you could buy something from my Amazon wish list, and then I'll build it, and it'll jump the queue. It'll jump clear ahead of it. Go into my Amazon wish list. You can see I've got some Lego sets, some nano blocks, some Pokemon model kits, some Gundam model kits, high grades, master grades. I do want to point out that I did put a Zoid, the Beast Liger from Zoids. I have built Zoids once before in the Zoids Wild line that came out, I think 2 years ago when the anime came out, Zoids Wild. It's not that hard of a kit to put together, but I've never panel lined a Zoid, so I'd like to try that. And also it moves around, and that's just something different. I put that up there because I was like, that'd be fun to build. But yeah, I've got all kinds of different stuff that you could pick up here that I would be happy to build on stream. And I shoot a video. If you buy something from my wish list, a video gets made so that I can say, like, hey, look what I'm going to be building because someone cool picked this up. And then, like I said, it jumps the queue. We're going to get back to building in just a minute, folks. I just got to do my ad reads here. An alternative is you could just buy a gift card to USA Gundam Store, support USA Gundam Store by buying a gift card, and then send me a DM on Twitter because my DMs are open with that gift card. And then I'll be like, oh, well, now I'm building this. And we can figure out what I should be building. That's have an alternative to Amazon because I understand that people don't want to use Amazon all the time, and I understand that completely and totally get it. I just bought something from. Who did I buy from? I just bought something from USA Gundam Store because it was cheaper than buying it from Amazon. Also, USA Gundam Store does a thing. Hey, I'm going to give you a pro tip here. So if you haven't done this before, they don't do this all the time. But if you're thinking about getting something from USA Gundam Store, put it have your account set up and logged in. Put something in your if you're logged in and you have an account, put something in your checkout, and then close the tab. And I'm not saying they do this all the time, but sometimes they'll email you saying like, hey, you left something in your checkout tab. Here's a discount code, which is to entice you to go back and pick it up. That's only a couple bucks you're going to save, but you'll save a couple bucks that way. Will they do that every time? No. Will they do that if you don't have an account? No. But that's the thing. There's a pro tip. I can give you a pro tip tonight. Feeling pretty good about giving you some sort of pro tip. We got through all of that. I have a Discord. That's free. If you want to join my Discord, you can totally do that. That is a way to support what I do that is free. I'll get back to building in just a minute. But some videos for you to check out. Pat Baer's Anime Club. Every other Monday, I put out a new video of Pat Baer's Anime Club. The one I put out this week was me talking about my favorite anime of the 80s. Turned out a pretty good episode. Not a lot of people watched it. But I will say, the very last thing, I talk about 6 shows, 6 TV shows, OVAs, and movies. Number 6 may surprise you. Baer With Me is a video series where I give my genuine, honest reaction to videos, things on the internet, and I met a desk friend in this video, and it's fucking great. So check that out if you haven't seen that. All right, we're going to talk about some anime while I start working on the front of this kit. So let me get ready for that. Got to get prepped for that. Make sure I go to the overhead and get ready to talk about some anime. I'm going to drink a little water as well, and then talk about some anime stuff while we work on the rest of the Enterprise. I'm going to get a little water here. Oh, that was good. Okay, so we're going to use the stand here. Pop that in there. And then we will flip this over here. And we'll kind of just follow the stickers. The design. We're going to do the NX-01 version right here. Okay. So let's start with 1. Let's start with 3, because 3 is huge. So we'll start with 3, because that is the largest one. I'm going to give you a brief overview of a couple shows. We got 4 we're talking about now. I'm taking a break from Heaven's Design Team. I didn't go back because I didn't finish. Last week's episode was such a slog. It did a thing I don't like in anime, and it's hard to be positive when I'm like mad about it. To preface this, I don't have a problem with rap. I think hip hop, rap music, fucking rules. I like a lot of it. But I do have a problem with Japanese voice actors who have no talent for it doing it in anime, which is written by people that have no talent for it. I have a big problem with that. So it's just like if a rap battle suddenly breaks out in an anime, it's almost never good. It's almost never good. So I do have an issue with that. And so I did run into that with last week's episode of Heaven's Design Team. An anime I genuinely very much enjoy, but could not enjoy that part. Did not enjoy that. So there's that. So I was just like, oh, well, fuck. So yeah, then so I didn't watch that. But okay, so the big thing I want to talk to you about that time I got reincarnated as a slime, season 2. If you watch season 1 and you haven't checked out season 2, it's becoming a regular isekai. I think I don't think I know. I tweeted about this. It has become a regular old isekai. Now, there's nothing wrong with that, and actually, it's still a good isekai. But if the thing you liked about that time I got reincarnated as slime is that it felt different, that it hit differently, that it did things a little different than your traditional isekai, that like, oh, there's still action and still stuff going around and there's still some conflict, but like, it's pretty light, all things considered. It has fun. It's going for a thing. It's doing things a little different. It doesn't do that anymore. It hit the point now where it doesn't do that. You might like the Chibi side series that's coming out in April, which I think is called Slime Diaries. That might be more up your speed because things are real. Things got real, and it's Shion died. A major character died. Only one. It looked like more were going to die, and then a minor character who is a fan favorite also passed away. Was murdered. And that is a fucking bummer. Gobzo was just like he was a joke character. They killed the joke character. So yeah, this show is becoming another isekai where the main character has so much power and seemingly does not have any regrets about the way that that character is going to be using that power to get what they want. So it has become another isekai. All right, this sticker is huge, so we're doing it now. This is going to end up, we're going to just follow the lines here. I think I didn't do here. I got to do it now. Shit, I didn't prep this. I didn't get any water on this, so I got to do that right now. But anyway, yeah, okay. Now, if you like lore, there was some cool shit happening here. Erin, who we know is a human woman, she's part of the party. She's a member of the human party. That's how we met Shizu. Well, turns out she's an elf. She's an elf princess. And I think the other guys are her guards, but maybe they're also elves, but I don't know. Anyway, she's an elf princess, and she's like, hey, we learned this fable that might be real about a dragon princess, a woman that, looked like a human, but was a dragon. Okay, this is a huge sticker here, so I'm going to be very careful with trying to apply this properly and line this up right. Because, like I said, this is a very large sticker. So I am trying to be very careful with applying this. Anyway, there is a fable that this dragon princess, her familiar, was killed by a king who was trying to taunt or control or do something to the dragon princess. And in her rage, she murdered the king and everyone in his kingdom. And she ascended to becoming the first demon lord. And when she ascended, okay, yeah, that slid out of the way, so we gotta line this up here. When she ascended, the familiar came back to life, but the soul was gone, so it was just a husk. And the art that is accompanied this fairy tale heavily implies or flat out says that that's Milim. Milim, who we know as, one of the more powerful demon lords, was apparently a dragon princess. So that's huge. So, it is not implied. It's pretty much said, okay, oops, shit. Yeah, all right. So we did run into an issue where trying to do this fast, this did break. So I'm going to carefully place this back down where it needs to go and carefully push this back in place using my X-Acto knife here to kind of get this lined up where it needs to be, because this is going to be a very noticeable sticker, so we want this to line up right. So we'll get this right here, and then we will walk away from this particular sticker. But when it dries, it won't be noticeable that this has been separated into two pieces. Should be fine. So we'll just kind of lightly push this down. But we do want it to adhere so that it dries in the right position. It doesn't flake off. But, okay. All right. That was a huge one. So that's why I want to do it now, because I don't want to do it in 20 minutes. I just want to get it done. Let's put our friend, our face here. Let's put the Enterprise on there. Anyway, so because of the barriers that are up, Rimuru is like, well, there's a chance that the souls of all these dead characters, they might be still around because of this barrier. So, all right. He's pretty matter-of-factly. He's like, so what I'm going to do is kill the king and all of the soldiers and some of the king's cabinet from Falmouth that fucking did this, and we're going to kill the church that they're working with, and I'm going to collect all these souls, and I'm going to ascend to become a demon lord, and when I ascend, hopefully they'll come back, because that is the only option that we have. And I'm going to install Yom, the human that is under my control, or like protection, as the new king, because they'll need a new government once I destroy it by murdering all these people. So yeah, now our character is about to kill 10,000 people, probably, our main character. And that's a whole lot. Oh, also he did save Mulin. Mulin, he replaces her artificial heart with a new one. So now Clayman has no control over her, which is nice of him to do. Because he recognizes what position she was in. It did look like he was going to kill her, though. But he didn't. And possibly he didn't because he needs Yom. And, Yom that way Yom Yom now has a queen for when he becomes the new king of that country. So yeah, so it's going to get fucked up. It's already fucked up. It's going to get more fucked up. So that is that's that time I got reincarnated as a slime. It is it's a whole fucking thing. All right, so Enterprise is going to be part of this line here, and the NX-01 is the X and O1 are in between these lines. So it's going to look like that. All right. Going to try to apply this right with the X and the 1. All right, so got that off. Try to apply this right. Where is the X and the 1? They're just, oh, that's higher up. All right. Okay. We can now hit this with a dry Q-tip. Just gotta pat it. Just patting. Just patting. Hoping we're okay. All right. We have done some of the harder ones, which makes it easier to do the other ones. We got one more difficult one, which is the back here, which is 5, because that is gonna maybe be tough. I don't know. So we'll just cut that out, and we'll see. Okay. Laid Back Camp Season 2. We're finally building to the big camping. I will say my only complaint with Laid Back Camp Season 2 is I wish they had done what they did in Season 1, where they introduced the very first episode had them camping, and then they were like, and then the whole show was getting back to that camping thing, which was like, it was like foreshadowing. So I wish they had done that, where we knew what the big event was. But everybody's going to this event. We got Nadesco and Iwi's sister, Akane, who we saw earlier in the season. Aki's going to be there, Chiaki. We're going to have Enna's doing it. She's not bringing her dog, which is a bummer. Sensei is driving. She's borrowing her sister's minivan. So that's cute and very fun. But Rin is going to take her moped, and getting her moped up to speed, her grandpa shows up, and he's like, hey, here's some gear. Let me help you with that. And he's on his motorcycle, and he's like, I'll ride part of the way with you. And we find out that apparently his maternal grandparent, his mom or her mom used to ride a motorcycle too, which is cool. She didn't know that. Also, Akane, Akari-chan, Iwi's younger sister. She's not really interested in camping so much as she wants to go to Izu, where they're going camping, because in Izu, apparently, there are wild capybaras that hang out in the hot springs there, which is a real fact that I learned, and now I also want to go to Izu, and I also want to see motherfucking capybaras hanging out in a hot spring. So yeah, same, Akari. You know what's up. That fucking ruled. Let's see. Oh yeah, there's a whole thing of them working their jobs and getting their money together. And one of the reasons they're going to Izu is because that's where the owners of the liquor store that helped out the girls in the winter camping fiasco, that is where they live. So they can go and give them a thank you and bring a gift or something. Also, Nadesco and Iwi have the same birthday, so they're going to celebrate their birthdays on this camping trip. So I'm sure that will be very cute. But yeah, we're gearing up. The next couple episodes are going to be them on their camping trip, and I'm very excited about that. All right, so we have to get this sticker onto a very small little platform here. So it's already separated, which shouldn't actually make it easier theoretically to line this up right. But we've moved off there, and now we are slowly applying this. It might have been easier to do this before we put this kit together, but you don't know that, and they don't say that, so who knows? All right. But yeah, this kind of came apart as we were putting it together. All right. we're just going to let that dry, and we're going to hope for the best on the back part piece here. Oh, yeah. Oh, we'll hit that with a wet. Oops. But yeah, Laid Back Camp Season 2, great vibes. It's felt a little meandering. I'm glad we're building up to this last big camping outing as the season kind of gets near towards the end. But yeah, it's been good. The new show I want to talk to you about is Kiyo in Kyoto from the Maiko house. This is a new show. It debuted last Wednesday at 10 p.m. I didn't even know it came out until yesterday, that it came out last week. And then I was looking for the new episode, and there was no new episode because it's a monthly show, which is, I'm going to say this right now, folks, very weird to have a monthly show. That is not typical. Usually shows are weekly, and then maybe they take a week off and they run for 11 to 13 episodes. Usually, traditionally these days, 12 to 13 is, or double length. There's plenty of double length, but you don't often see anime do this whole monthly thing. It's kind of weird. So that's happening, which is surprising, and it's good. I recommend it. It is a slice of life. The first episode was really solid. It was like 3 little stories. The central plot is that Kiyo and her best friend, her childhood best friend, Sumari, they both want to become Maiko. Maiko are apprentice geisha. And I don't know enough about that world to really tell you if this thing is accurate or solid, but basically you have to audition to become an apprentice, to study to become an apprentice, and then you live as a Maiko for a long time, and then you graduate to becoming a geisha. This is the information I have deemed from the show. Now, unfortunately, or fortunately, Kiyo does not get accepted to become a Maiko. So she ends up, because she's a good home cook, she ends up becoming the live-in cook for the Maiko. And so that way she can at least be with Sumari, who was accepted. So she's got that going for her. And she's there learning her craft. And it's just like her adventures, a slice of life of her being like a chef and still sticking with this and being excited for her friend while she also is, Sumari feels, bad about what's happened, and wishes that they could have, both done this, but that wasn't in the cards. And it is also a lot about food, about home cooking and learning about other kinds of food, and it's got good vibes. Like I said, 1 episode so far, so I can't speak on too much. I'll tell you more about it after March 25th when the 2nd episode airs, because that's when the next one is, which is weird. It's just weird. Like I said, the fact that it's a monthly show, the fact that it debuted last week with no fanfare. It was just on Crunchyroll, and I had forgotten that it existed. But I'm excited to watch it, because I said the first episode was good. All right, let's go press that down there. All right, we're moving along. I'm going to try. We are definitely going to finish this, even if we go late, because I had no idea. Like I said, we got the camper van, the holiday camper van, ready to go. I promoted that, we get to that next, because I didn't know how long this was going to take. But even if we go over, we'll go over, because we are going to finish this up. I am not going to be doing this on Saturday. We don't have many more decals to put on, but I do want. This is the front. This is the top of it. I do want it to look good, so we will do more of it. This is number 10. And then, okay, Anime Kapibara-san is, this is a fucking show for children, but it rules. It was just all the Cappies in the hot spring, which is a weird coincidence, because that was also, as I said, mentioned in this episode of Laid Back Camp. But that also was the whole premise of this episode, was just like, hey, you know what? All of the Cappies like the hot spring. That's all it was. All of them love it. It was very cute. Very, very cute. Uh, and that's the anime I've been watching. Uh, I am now caught up on Black Clover. Next week, I will give my detailed thoughts on the episodes that I haven't been talking about from week to week of Black Clover, but I am caught up on it. My general consensus is shit's been fucking popping off, and people were awesome. I I don't like the central idea of everyone gets to do their cool shit, but it wasn't enough. It just wasn't enough. And you're like, "Oh, well, I guess then don't have them do their cool shit." Also, a couple characters died that I was surprised died. But Black Clover is ending this month, uh, which is wild. They're wrapping it up. Uh, so that will be interesting to see where it wraps up because I am not familiar about where they are in the manga. But they're not done with the manga. The manga's not over, so I expect to see Black Clover come back. I'm glad they're not going to just do another filler arc because the filler arc they did was terrible. So I'm excited that they're not doing that and instead they're just going to end it to maybe bring it back uh, with like another Black Clover show. I think that's fine. Maybe I'll read the manga. I probably won't read the manga. I am reading one manga, folks. Uh, in a rare thing, I didn't want to wait uh, for it. I am reading. Let me get this back over here. Sorry. I am reading a. I've been killing slimes for 300 years and maxed out my level, which is an isekai coming out in April. But I really like the premise. It's fine. It's not great. There's a character I really don't like in it. It's mostly just like chill, but there is a. It is an interesting premise of an isekai of like, oh, just by doing this one repetitive motion which was killing slimes for 300 years, this character is now one of the strongest characters in the entire world. Just because she was like, yeah, she was killing slimes every day to earn the money at the guild for turning in slimes, so that she could like, you know, have food and live her life. And it took her 300 years to be like, oh, I guess my abilities went up. I guess I'll try magic. Like, she doesn't try magic until, like, the second chapter. She's like, oh, I wonder if I could do that because now I'm, like, powerful or whatever. And she's like, oh, yep, I can do that. Turns out I'm very good at magic. Which I liked. I liked the premise of that. But yeah, it's all right. It's not the best thing in the world, but it's fine. I think it'll be cool. And I just wanted to have something to read. I've been reading on my iPad Mini out on the porch, and I just kind of wanted to have something to watch or to look at on my iPad. As I said, it's fine. It's perfectly okay as a piece of media. So, what are y'all watching? Anybody watching anything? Reading anything? Uh, Psyched about anything? We got some time left on the stream. Now's a great time to let me know what y'all are up to. What are you watching? What are you consuming? Who's making content that you're psyched about? You know, what you know, who's playing Valheim and you're like, this is my shit. I'm so psyched to watch these streamers with their weird server playing Valheim or whatever. What are y'all up to? Let me know in the comments here in chat. Tell me what's up. Folks watching this later on YouTube, what's up, YouTube? Let me know. Lastbrick says, I went through all of LGR thrifts recently. Oh, that is some good just have on while you're doing other things. From the before times where you could just like go to a store and look through people's old shit and touch it and plug it in and see if it works. My favorite stuff from LGR's thrifts, this is Lazy Game Reviews, though he doesn't really do many game reviews these days. It's just a name now. My favorite for LGR's thrift stuff is when he's like, I don't know why I didn't pick that up, because he's like doing the audio later, and he's like, "Oh, I saw that and I thought about it and I didn't get it and I should have," because it means he's human. Uh, yeah, that's some good shit, Lashbrook. You're watching some quality video entertainment. Uh, I think I talked about this. I got real into Game Grumps. I know. I mean, it's been years since we talked, but like I knew Dan back in his comedy day, or his UCB comedy days, I should say, not comedy. He's still a comedian, but I knew Dan way back pre his move to LA and pre his starting to work with Game Grumps. So it's kind of nice to hear an old voice that I haven't like thought about in a long time. I knew what Game Grumps was. I just didn't watch any of it. Uh, and then it's been kind of nice to just like, I don't know, check in. You know, like I said, it's somebody I knew, but I haven't really thought about and kept up with. So I don't know. It's just kind of fun to like see what he's up to. Watch some stuff. But yeah, that's it. We're done with this. Uh, yeah, because all these other decals are for other versions of the NX-01, so we can call this built. Uh, we'll get some Lego stuff sorted. I will then have to move it slowly into the other room, but it'll be better to do that. We can still do that this stream and get this sorted, and we'll take some good photos. Got to move this water. Obviously, I did not need all this water. Some of that was for performance stuff, but wanted to have that together. And we'll just move all this off here. But yeah, is anybody else watching anything, consuming anything, doing anything? Of course, we don't have a lot of folks here towards the end of the stream tonight, which is okay. Tonight wasn't that busy, which is okay and is actually fine. I'm all right with that, honestly. But yeah, if anybody else is doing anything, watching anything, enjoying any internet stuff, just let me know. I like hearing from you. But I'll get a photo of this, and then we'll get some Lego stuff together for like the last like some time of the stream. We'll just kind of start. I'll just start sorting stuff. It'll be easier that way to transport it if I sort it anyway. All right. Well, I guess nobody else. I guess y'all are just watching me. That's okay. You don't have to. As always, I should say that. I apologize that I didn't really say it. If you don't want to like watch, you don't want to chat, you don't want to be in the in the chat, you don't have to, and it's okay if you don't want to. But let's get a photo of this. We can call this kit built. I think the panel lining works pretty well with the stickers. I'm not super thrilled with it, but I like it. Overall, I think this is a fine build, and I had a good time making it. But I don't think I will do another Polar Lights. I think I am good on that. Let me get a nice photo of this. Try to get a better photo than that. See if I can do it like this, maybe. All right, one last photo. Okay. So yeah, so now I'm just gonna we'll put this aside here. Go to camper. We can that camper. And we'll just get some Lego stuff sorted. I don't know. We'll just figure out what we need for this. Lego. Working on the camper. We do have our decals. We will take out a sponger, because using my sponger is always better than using. You can, if you want, use to apply stickers, because we have a few of them. You can use the brick separator to do that, but I found I prefer to use a sponger for that. I just use the sponger here for that, and it works out just fine. But yeah, nothing specifically like groundbreaking about this. It's just we're just going to build it, and there are 2 bags. I opened both bags because that way we can know the whole thing, and we get ourselves a camper van, which is fun. The holiday camper van. And so yeah, let's see if we can get some minifigs together. We put the minifig stuff aside here. Make sure those are there. Uh, if you haven't seen me do Lego, basically I just sort by color. So that way I can pull together. That way I'm like, well, if I need a white piece, I know it's in the white piece section. Now what I'll do off stream is I will take stuff like this. This is identical, and then I'll put it like this here. So that way it takes up less room, and I have more room to build. But this will be Saturday. We'll be getting into this. So for now, I'm just going to separate that, and that'll be my Friday project. Will be sorting all of this before I move all of my gear. I do want to do one more video here tomorrow before I start packing all the stuff up and moving it into the. Oh, that's so weird. It's the baby. We got a baby. It's a baby minifig head. Here's the difference. That's a small baby. Makes sense, right? Oh, that's just a teeny baby right there. Got a bottle and everything. And a little. So yeah. What was I saying? I don't remember. Oh yeah. Tomorrow I got to shoot next week's Bear With Me because I went to film. I filmed something today for next week, and it immediately got when I uploaded it. It got copyright strikes are fine because I am, even though it is transformative, I am doing reaction videos. Like, I understand people want to make money and some of them don't want me to make money off the thing they made. And I get that totally. And I understand that. And I got no problem. It's when people are like, this can't be watched on mobile. And I'm like, well, then I'm not going to put it up. If it can't be, if people like, or like, this can't be watched in the United Kingdom. It's like, all right, well, then we're not doing it. Like that's like you can say if you need to say that I can't make any money off of this, fine, whatever, sure. But if you're like no, like nobody can watch this. Like I remember I had to go in when I did 404ing it, which if you don't know, that was a panel I did at PAX, which I invited guests and we showed things we liked from the internet. It was the internet is a garbage dump. Well, there's a recycling plant in the garbage dump, so there's still sometimes some good stuff there. So this was like, sorting through the good stuff. That was kind of the vibe of the show. And I remember the Pokemon Detective Pikachu, not the movie, the video game Detective Pikachu. That trailer had dropped the day of the panel. So I was like, let's give our live reactions to this because no one on the panel had seen it except for me. So we got our live reactions. And so when I put the panel up, I was like, oh, I know I'm 404ing it. Everybody claims it and they run ads and they get money and that's fine. I don't do that for that. I put it up for the people that weren't there live. Well, Nintendo was like, not just mute this section, mute the whole video, and also can't be shown in the following territories. And I was like, well, okay, so now I have to go and edit the original one and re-upload it, which is why when I would always do that, I would always leave it unlisted for a day before I went and put it up, shared the link, because it always happened that way. But yeah, I was just like, oh, okay, well, I'm just going to cut that out and just put a note in and says, we watched the trailer, link in the comments so you can go watch the official one. I was be like, make your money, Nintendo, but don't do it so that no one else can watch it. That's annoying. I understand. Sometimes I do wish that I was part of a large group that had some way of, saying things, but like, I don't have the ability to fight the system. I have to just be like, well, either I should be able to say like, hey, I'm watching this. I didn't put the whole clip up. I put a clip up. I didn't put the whole thing up. This is transformative. I should be able to argue fair use on it. I have an actual understanding of what fair use is. I should be able to argue that. But it is not easy to do that. And so I don't do that. And instead, I just say like, sure, yeah, you run your ads, you make your money. But if there are restrictions on who can see it and where it can, and that sort of thing, then I just say, no, we're not going to do that. We are not going to do that. I'll figure out another video. So I got to shoot another video tomorrow for next week's. And I try to I have some ready to go. I just found out right before the stream that this was going to be a no-go. So instead, I will do something else. And I knew that going into it, doing reaction videos. I knew that I was going to run that. That problem was going to come up. This wasn't going to be. This isn't going to be this wasn't the first time, and it won't be the last. And I've only been doing this since January, so I am expecting more of those issues with that. But I think it's really fun, and people seem to like it, so we'll keep doing it. I don't know what this is going to be. Oh, this is like a propane tank. Okay, there's a cooktop thing. This goes on here. I was like, this looks like a minifig head. That's weird, but no, that just goes there. So okay. I will finish sorting, and then, like I said, I'm gonna have to move all of this. I'll put it all together, and then slowly. Basically, I'm gonna take all this, put it on in a big box, separated. Nold, and then move the big box into my bedroom because Saturday I'll be back there. But at least we can null everything, and that will make my life easier when it is time to do this stuff. Put all the white together. Got some light gray. I'll try to separate that from the dark gray, although there's not much light gray. Ooh, nice control panel. Love that. When it's not a decal, when it's just a thing you get, I love that. It's very cool. Put that there. There. Let's go there. Oops. Yellow. I have a lot of yellow. We'll put the silver and the dark gray together. It's just easier. Black. Black goes there. Black goes there. And that goes there, and then clear goes over here. Plenty of clear because this is a camper van vehicle, so even more clear than I normally have on a kit like this. And then some colors that don't fit anywhere else. Let's put all that together. Put this there. And take this white here. All right, well, we can do... Got these kind of separated. It'll be easier for me to null. Let's put our minifig together because we got a little time left, folks. We are going to raid tonight, so don't be like, oh, Pat, are we not raiding anybody? We're raiding. Don't worry about it. We're going to find somebody to go and hang out with, even though there's not a ton of us tonight. It's okay. We'll go find somebody radical to go hang out with, see what's up. Sorry, this is going to go like that. Put her head on there. And pants or legs. And then baby bottle. And then baby. Little baby there. Baby head. No hair on this baby. Oh, this baby does have legs. It's very small, but that baby's got legs. So don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. There we go. And then we'll assemble this dude, which is a weird thing you can just say. You can just say if you want, we're assembling a dude, and it'll be cool. That's just a thing you can do. So here's this dude, and goes like that. And then where's his head? There's his head. He's only got one face. Oh, he's got stubble because they're camping. You can't see that. But he does have stubble. Please believe me when I tell you, he's got a 5 o'clock shadow and his hair is a mess because they're roughing it in their camper van on a holiday with his big camera that I'm sure some people have, but I don't know why this guy does. Why he has a camera that to me looks like it's meant for underwater photography. Whatever. Oh, there's an egg? There is. Oh, that's cool. Oh, there is apparently a egg looking. There it is. That's fun. The egg that you can cook on there is not attached to anything, so it can move around a little bit. That's pretty neat. I like that. All right, we got a little bit done here. A little bit are set. Also, this croissant. Hey, folks, this happens sometimes when you're dealing with minifigs. This croissant is as big as this baby. This croissant is as big as this baby is a thing I said out loud, and I mean that's a giant croissant or a tiny baby. I think that's just a big croissant. That's a big croissant. I mean, even compared to the egg, that's too big of a croissant. So that's weird. But anyway, I don't see the problem, says Lashbrook. You know what, Lashbrook? I feel you. All right, so we knolled. It will make my life so much easier when the time comes to sort through all this stuff, even having to transfer it off this table and then back onto this table because I didn't think about that necessarily. That's fine. But yeah, we'll null it, then we'll move all of that over. But that's going to do it for the stream. Thank you all so much for being here. We are going to raid, so let's get ready to raid. We're going to go find somebody awesome to go give some love to out in the wonderful world of the internet. See who's out there streaming, doing their thing, making it happen. We'll go see who's doing stuff. When did they start streaming? I also, like I said, I do like to see that. When did they start? I'm gonna find out when one of my friends started streaming tonight to see how long they've been going. Oh, they started an hour ago. We're gonna go raid. TQ. TQ is playing Animal Crossing because honestly, I just want to chill rest of my Thursday, and TQ is just the best. So we're gonna get just the chillest stream with TQ. Thank you all so much for being here. I hope you come on this raid, hang out in Animal Crossing with TQ, who is very good at the game. And just also chill community. So feel free to come along in this raid. I hope you have a great rest of your Thursday. On Saturday, we're building Lego. Back in the bedroom. Doing it right. Thanks so much for being here. I hope you have a great evening. And I'll see you on the next Build with Baer. Goodbye, 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 goodbye. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye.